Big time main event coming up this weekend on incredibly short notice. Up a weight class at flyweight, we have Marina Rodriguez taking on the Karate Hottie Michelle Waterson. And Matt, for Michelle Waterson, had one of the craziest fights you're ever going to see in Invicta at 105 pounds with Jessica Penne. And then they both end up in the UFC. And for Waterson, it's been hit or miss so far. I get the record, it's 18-8, but overall, she's been on big stages. She's been in main events before. And this is Marina Rodriguez's chance to steal that shine. Marina Rodriguez so far in the UFC, it's been a decent run. You look at the wins, you look at the losses. The one draw, of course, to Randa Marcos. The one loss to Carlos Barza by split decision. And then what does Marina do? Does she sulk? No. She comes out and finishes Amanda Ribas. We talked about this in the Amanda Ribas breakdown because she's also on this card. I compared her to like an Alfonso Soriano because Alfonso used to kind of always have his foot tapping. You see a lot of baseball players do that. But you go back and you watch the finishing sequence, and Marina, she's starting to pull back the left hand. As Ribas is coming in, she's pulling it back. She goes for the left hand, left hook obviously, and it completely whiffs because it sets up the right that absolutely knocks her down. And then Herb Dean has a weird finishing sequence where it's like, hey, I'm going to touch you, but the fight's not over. And then it is over. For Marina Rodriguez, very, very good striker. She has a win over Tisha Torres, old Jag, Jessica Aguilera, the draw against Calvillo, the draw against Marcos. And then to get into the UFC, she beats Maria Oliveira. But we look at Marina Rodriguez, great Muay Thai. But the other thing that she has, maybe not the best takedown defense, but when she's off her back, she's always busy. She doesn't normally accept guard, but if she is in guard, she's going to start throwing punches. She's going to start landing elbows. She's going to do whatever she can to try and discomfort her opponent. She did that against her last fighter, or in her last fight against Amanda Ribas, where she was down on her back for a lot of that first round. And then once it was striking again, holy smokes.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with 90% of what you said, but there's one pushback. I hate that she throws strikes off of her back. That's the worst usage of your energy when you're on your back. Use it to get a submission, a sweep, or get back up to your feet. Because you know who's not winning by knockout off their back? In full guard, Marina Rodriguez. It's just not going to happen.
Not yet.
And it won't, because she's not Nico Price with her up kicks. Now, this is a really weird fight, and I put Marina Rodriguez in the Nick Diaz category, where it's like, I didn't lose, I just ran out of time. Because she's not a fighter who goes out there, and it's not like she's getting stopped. A lot of her fights are very close, because in the stand-up, it's not close. She's going to outstrike the majority of people in this division. Like, Joanna would give her a good fight on the feet. Like, there's people out there, don't get me wrong, but she is one of the higher-level strikers in this division. The majority of competitors are going to go in there trying to take her down. We saw that against Esparza. We saw that in the Calvillo fight. We've seen that in the majority of her fights. And it does come down to the judges where it's, okay, what do I weigh more? Do I weigh the takedown secured by the opponent or the damage that Rodriguez was getting done on the feet? And for Rodriguez, she really is one of the more heavy-handed fighters at this division. And it's odd, too, because at 125, there's a few people who can go out there and get a knockout. Like Valentina, of course, can. Jessica Andrade can. Araujo. Rodriguez is also in that category. Like, when you are on the feet with her, she is one of the few serious power threats in this division, where if she hits you clean, you are going to go down. And I know we both had Ribas to beat Rodriguez in her last fight, but I made sure that we both gave her flowers by saying, like, if Rodriguez cracks you, more than likely you are going to go down. Now, did I think she was going to knock out Amanda Ribas as convincingly as she did? No, I did not. Now, in this fight, it's weird because Michelle Waterson, on a 2-fight losing streak, gets a main event slot against Angela Hill. So already, that doesn't happen very often. You don't have fighters who lose twice and they're rewarded with a main event. She wins a close split decision in which a lot of people thought Angela Hill should have won, and now they're rewarding her with another main event up a weight class. It's just a really weird career trajectory for Michelle Waterson.
Now, it is weird, but we got to go back a little bit, too. Because if you go back, you look at Michelle Waterson. She was supposed to take on Amanda Ribas back in January. The fight falls out. And then who does the UFC call to fill in? Because if you look at this total card, it's an absolute mess. There's a reason why we were late doing everything this week. Cerrone was supposed to fight Sanchez. Holm was supposed to fight Pena. Flick was supposed to fight Figueiredo, and then Flick retired. Montefiore was supposed to fight Santos. Nicholas Mata was supposed to make his UFC debut against Damir Hadzovic. Then Francisco Figueiredo was booked against JP Bays. That falls out. And of course, your main event was supposed to be Sandhagen, or as John Franklin would say, Sandhagen, was supposed to fight TJ Dillashaw. And Dillashaw gets a cut on his eyebrow and doesn't do the Colby Covington thing and just glue it.
Just super glue it.
Just glue it. Come on, be a man. Glue it, TJ. Come on, Fat Tyler. But we look at it, they make the call. Who's reliable? Who's always on weight? And who always shows up to fight?
Angela Hill.
the TikTok star, Michelle Waterson. And we get Michelle Waterson. And I don't want to take anything away from her. She's been in some absolutely great fights before, and she's fought some of the best women at 115. And that's why we have this fight here, because as far as rankings are concerned, it's 6-9 as far as, when we're taping this. Rodriguez above Waterson. Waterson has a little bit of a name value where, again, she's already been in main event slots before. She's had competitive fights. And usually when she loses, it's by decision or split decision. So they're close enough fights. They really are.
But they're not. Like, the Joanna fight wasn't close at all. But here, my problem with Michelle Waterson is that her nickname has nothing to do with her fighting style. She might be called the Karate Hottie, and she might have a karate-style striking approach. She doesn't win fights on the feet, though. When Michelle Waterson wins, she needs the takedown, and she needs her submissions. And that's the weird thing about Michelle Waterson. You're going to hear about her kicks. You're going to hear about her karate technique and her taekwondo backgrounds. Michelle Waterson needs to take this fight to the ground or she's going to win. If she strikes with Marina Rodriguez for 25 minutes, she won't make it to the 25-minute mark. I'm more than confident that Rodriguez could knock her out in that time because you not only have to take into consideration Rodriguez has the big power advantage, she's the much bigger fighter in this matchup too. Waterson is outmatched by most people physically at strawweight, and now you're fighting a decent-sized flyweight. It's not like Marina Rodriguez is Jessica Andrade, who fought at 135 and moved down. It's not like Waterson's going to be that small, but Waterson is going to have a really tough time with the power of Marina on the feet. And I'm not only saying this because Marina is coming off a knockout win either. She's been able to show throughout her UFC career that really power is something that she has, and it's not like her last fight was an outlier. In every fight, she is able to damage her opponents. Tisha Torres is still a really good fighter, and Marina Rodriguez beat the brakes off her on the feet, and it wasn't competitive at all. For Waterson, I've seen her in there with similar fighters to Rodriguez, who are that very striker-heavy fighters. But my issue is Waterson's not a good enough wrestler to get this fight to the mat. If she was a better wrestler, I do think she'd be able to get this fight down more consistently and be able to work a little bit on top. But my problem is she might be able to explode for one, maybe two. But then I do think that that's going to be it for her chances to get this fight to the mat. And again, if it's a striking fight between these two, I like Rodriguez an awful lot.
And the other thing that you got to throw in here, because I wouldn't feel the most confident about this if this fight was made 2 months in advance, you had full training camps, it was at 115, you could go either way pretty easily. This was hastily thrown together a week in advance. It's a main event. How many rounds is it? We don't even know. They don't even say. Is it 5 rounds? Is it 3? We'll find out. We have question mark kicks to kind of save us over on Saturday, so make sure you check that out. We don't even know how many rounds this is. I would assume it's 3 rounds. It's at 125 pounds. And the other thing, Michelle Waterson had that kind of fallout with Jackson Wink. Go over to the Instagrams. Back with Jackson Wink for this one. Interesting. For Marina Rodriguez, it was kind of like, and you saw from the tweets from Ariel Helwani, this was Monday night we're referencing. So Monday night of fight week. Ariel tweets out, Michelle Waterson said she signed the contract. She came out on Instagram on Sunday and said, listen, the fight's going to happen. I signed the contract. We're waiting for Marina Rodriguez. Hopefully everybody shows up. Hopefully everybody makes it to Vegas. We'll see what kind of shape Marina Rodriguez is in. You assume she's been training. You assume she was getting ready for a fight. It's just a tricky one to really be hard and fast. Yep, Waterson's going to win because she has good wrestling. She's back with Jackson Wink, and this fight favors her because she's been ready. Or, yep, Marina Rodriguez is a great striker, which I agree.
She is.
She's a great striker. We saw it in her last fight. We've seen it over her body of work. She kind of struggles with some wrestlers. Waterson brings a complete package. I don't know if she's going to be able to get the takedown. And normally, if this fight, let's say this was going to be at 125 with no other extenuating factors, Rodriguez all day. It's just tricky with all of that in mind.
No, I couldn't agree more, and I appreciate you throwing all that fine print at the bottom of this prediction, but I do agree. There just are so many other circumstances that, it's just so hard to take that into consideration right now. For me, I am ever so slightly picking Marina Rodriguez, but by the end of the week, my pick could change every single day until Saturday when we do question mark kicks, if I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I think Rodriguez will win, and I agree with you. I think you did set this up perfectly. If I had no question marks around the training camp, if everyone was on, both had 8-week camps at their training camps, they're going to meet at flyweight, then I would think, well, without a doubt, Marina Rodriguez is going to win this fight. But there is ever so slight reason to believe that Waterson might be able to pull off this upset. But again, at the end of the day, I'm going to so slightly pick Rodriguez.
The odds, Rodriguez open to -155. She's -212 right now. For Waterson, open to +135. She's +171. Over on Tapology, it's going to be a limited sample size. 865 total votes. 75% Rodriguez to get the win. And 72% have her to win by decision. I've got Rodriguez. Good striker. The fight at 25 favors her for sure. We'll see if it's 3 rounds. We'll see if it's 5 rounds. I know a lot of people, They're not too jazzed for this fight, but it happens, and there's a lot of good fights on this card, and there's stuff to get excited about, Matt.
Yeah, 100%. It might not be Yuri Prochazka, Dominic Reyes, but it turns out few things are. So it should be a really great card top to bottom, and I'm really excited for it. I really am.
I am as well. We're both going with Marina Rodriguez to get the win. Make sure you check out the other Fight Night Picks content out there. There's an interview with Diego Fajea. We've got an interview with Mohamed Usman. It's got a big fight coming up against Brandon Sales with PFL. PFL content, Bellator content, huge week for both of those promotions. So, Matt, it's a big week. Question mark kicks on Saturday. We offer the final picks and predictions 2 hours before the prelims. You can find it here on the channel live. So you have to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know exactly when we go live. We're looking forward to fight week. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, as we always say.
Let's get into it.